Didn't check now. Alright guys, I'm just still checking, like I'm not able to connect to Instagram. This is the reason why I'm checking this up. Oh lovely, I'm connected to Instagram now as well. So you guys. Okay, okay, that's a good level. Okay, now guys, alright, okay, where are we? Let's figure out what's connected, what's not connected. So when I'm looking at it, doing on Instagram and I'm live on Instagram now. Okay, now I should be live. Alright guys, at last, okay, we got connected now, so that's a good news guys. So okay, this is what we want to do. I wanna bring live sessions where we can talk to each other and we can discuss all different questions you have in immigration and we can do some live. I think that's a good. Again, there would be a little bit this maybe today or maybe today. Basically, we should not have any details. And try to show giving a bit of glitches. Or all right, okay. Let's now give me 1 second so I can jump into your questions as well. All right, okay. Uh, all right, Amit, what's the future of mechanical engineering? See, there's a great future of mechanical engineering here in Australia, and let's talk about this. Okay. Hi, Ankita. All right. Hello. Okay. Mechanical engineering. Now, okay. See, it is pretty straightforward. If you're a mechanical engineer, you can get your skill assessment done from Engineering Australia. Now, guys, when we specifically talk about mechanical engineers here in Australia, mainly mechanical engineers work on mechanical engineers mainly work on profiles here. For example, in mining. So a lot of mechanical engineers work in mining here in Australia. So that's where you got your future. Also, mechanical engineers are mainly when you're doing big aircon ducting projects. That's where mechanical engineers use. So anywhere where basically that's where you have more features. The bottom line is if you have a job as a mechanical engineer, your chance to get an invite are very, very high. If you don't have a job and you just get a skill assessment from Engineering Australia, because yes, you can get it, you don't need any work experience based on your engineering degree, then you have less chances. Now, again, if you're looking for work in mechanical engineering, I would suggest you try Western Australia, try Queensland, trying mining area, and or try places where they have big aircon projects where the mechanical engineers are used for drafting and drawing and basically yes. But I hope this answers your question, Amit. Now, guys, any of you have any if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm more than happy to answer you. I'll try to do my best. And can you guys tell me if you can hear me well? Though again, as I said to you, we are testing this platform now. It's a new platform, and I hope you are able to hear me. And if you don't, just send me a message. Sir, how about network administrator? Hi Sanjay, I hope you're doing well. And network engineers, which state is more preferred? Now, alright, okay. So in terms of if you really look at where the network administrator or network engineers, now, okay, the highest number of IT jobs are in Sydney. The second place in Australia would be Melbourne, and I put it both Brisbane and Adelaide in the same basket. So, of course, where there are more IT jobs, that's where the network engineers would be required. But also, Sanjay, remember one thing. Uh, in Australia, all the big projects, if you look into it, okay, the companies who run these big, like if you let's put this way, the top 500 companies, the biggest companies in Australia who do big IT projects, they now most of these projects are gone to Wipro, Accenture, and TCS, sorry. So, and these are mainly mainly IT companies. All right, these are mainly IT companies. Now you got to understand something. Uh, many of them, all right. So they already have employees on 482 visas who have 8 or 10 years or 12 years of work experiences. So you would always need to compete that. Now I don't know which boat you settled in. Have you just finished your studies here in Australia and you're fresh, or you already here on a 482 visa working for one of the IT companies and then you're looking prospects for network engineer? But yes, there would be invite for network engineer. Try to score as much as possible. But yes, and especially with AI and so much infrastructure, and we are building new setups here and stuff like that. Definitely, there is a good scope of mechanical engineers here. And but yes, the competition would be high. The competition would be high. Okay. All right. Okay. Which state is better for supply chain professional? All right. Oh, that's a good question. In my view, all right, that's my view though, okay? In my view, if you're a if you're looking into supply chain basically, I would be looking for employment, to be very honest with you. If you have 1 year of work experience, you can ask your employer to get you 482. If you have 3 years of work experience, you can go for 186. But I haven't seen much of invite in the last 2 3 years in your operation as supply in basically in supply chain. Hi Priya, how are you? Now guys, do any of you have any more questions? I'm more than happy to answer you. I'm just pulling down if I all right, okay. Who else is there? Okay, okay. Let me check. Okay, Priya, I didn't got it. Australian visitor visa, is it? Do you mean by visitor visa? If you can retype that, that would be great. It says visitor visa. Now I'm assuming you're asking visitor visa. Okay. Again, I don't know like whereabouts are you in the world. Basically, when you apply for a visitor visa, uh, what Home Affairs or what Australia is looking into is that you have sufficient funds and you have a strong background. What that means is basically you have incentives to go back to your country. So when you come here, visit Australia, for example, you have a good job, you or you're doing something good in your career. It could also be like property, assets, and stuff like that. So when you're emphasizing on a visitor visa application, what I suggest to you is you need to demonstrate how strong connections you have in your own country, and that you have very solid incentives to go back to your country once you have finished your visit. I hope that answers your question. Otherwise, you can always go on the Instagram, booking consultation. We do free consultations. Happy to take care of it. All right, guys. Mm, do we have any more questions? Anyone? I would love to answer you. Now, I'm also looking at. Hello, Sanya. You from YouTube? Hello, and Sanya. If you have any question, just type it in. I can see your messages. I'd love to answer them. Okay. Yeah, Priya, not a problem. As I said to you, there's a link on Instagram bio. You can click that link, all right, and then you will get, it will give you option to get a free consultation, and I'll have to do that. Okay, all right, okay. What will happen if your suspensive visa expires here in Australia while you are overseas holding a bridging visa B? Okay, now, all right, okay. You want to understand something? Okay. So let me explain you this to make it easier. And what's your name? Then hey. It's very hard to pronounce that, but uh, let me understand that. Let me make you understand. Okay. First of all, okay, you can only get a bridging visa while you lodge an application onshore. It means you are in Australia. Now, how does this work? For example, I have a bridging visa. Hypothetically, today is the 24th of July, and I am currently on a student visa. Okay, and I lodge another application of a student visa today on the 24th of July. Now, on the 30th of June, my student visa runs out. So, first of all, when you ask me this question, you cannot have a substantive visa while you're using visa. So your bidding visa only comes in effect when your substantive visa runs out. So your question is, what happens if your substantive visa expires here in Australia? So your bidding visa would not come in effect. So you cannot technically have a bidding visa while your substantive visa runs out. You have your bidding visa when your substantive visa has run out, and there's another valid application you have made here in Australia, and you are waiting for the outcome of that application. During that period of time only, your visa will come in effect, and generally, again, depending upon your situation, if you have a bridging visa A, and when you go overseas, then of course to go overseas, you need to apply for bridging visa B, because bridging visa A does not allow you to come back to the country. I hope that brings sense. Hello. You just said there is no potential to supply chain now. How can I help my brother come to Australia from UAE? He works in construction and supply chain management. Okay. I'm not saying there is no potential in supply chain. What I'm trying to say to you is, if let's see, what I'm now anything what I'm saying to you here is on the basis of my understanding of the immigration law and how I see the data. If we look at the data in the last 2 or 3 years, what we will find out, if you look at data in the last 2 or 3 years of the invite, you will see there is hardly any invite in supply chain, but there is a very wide demand in supply chain. And what you need to really look into it, the first step would be we need to get your brother's skill assessment done. And then the second step would be you need to identify an employer over here who's willing to sponsor your brother. That's usually how I've done many applications from UAE, especially in applicants who are working in construction back there, and they are very much in demand here in Australia. But this because the standard of work in UAE is very high, so again, and also, what you can do is there's a link on Instagram with a WhatsApp link. You can just send us a message, or you can just book a free consultation there. More than happy to discuss with you one on one, and then probably I can understand your brother's situation much better. Good luck. I mean, refused here in Australia while you are overseas on a visa. That's a bad news, my friend. Okay, that's a bad news. So, okay, what I understood from your question is you applied for another visa, and then of course you got a bridging visa A. Then you converted your bridging visa A into bridging visa B. Once you converted your A into B, then you traveled overseas. Now, while you are in overseas on a bridging visa B, and your visa got refused, so I'm sorry to say that that's a bad news, my friend. And I tell you why it is a bad news, because you would not have any rights of review. So the bottom line is, if if you want to come back to Australia, the whole story starts again for you, my friend. Sorry for that. Thank you, Sahil. My pleasure. All right, Priya. Sir, your video is not coming. Okay, I don't know that. Let's check it out. Why it's not coming? And Priya, what platform you're on? Yeah, these things sometimes they get funny. Let me check. Okay, it just tells me it is coming, and that is Instagram, correct? I'm sorry, Priya. I don't know why, but I can see from here I'm live on phone, and I can see it streaming is going on. So maybe it's a vendor side, but I'm not sure because I'm live and I can see others can this. Yeah, but it's not. But anyone, can you? I can see that like the video is sort of, yeah. Maybe we need to do some work on this as well, or maybe I would need to change the why and look into this why this is not coming. Okay, okay. Let me put this. Okay. Yes. Okay. How many people we got here? We got few people here, and what can I do for you? All right. Sanya, hello Sanya, how are you? Sanya, my pleasure, Sahil. Okay. All right, guys, basically we want to get live on this from tomorrow, and we're gonna work more on this. And like I think we can see some glitches which we will try to sort it out tomorrow so we can run it more smoothly. All right, and yeah, hopefully things will get better. Maybe I'm not very much sure what it is all about, and I will get back to you guys tomorrow again. I will take a leave now, and thank you very much for taking your time and watching me. I would really appreciate that, and I will put it on all the channels what time you're gonna get live, so we can whatever questions you have, you can ask them straight away online, and no dramas, no question, and we can answer you straight away. Take care, guys. Good luck. Good night for now.